Hey guys, Matt, IronTrap Garage. Welcome to another week in the life of today is Sunday, and much like my life lately, we have a bunch of errands and different stuff to do. Got to run over to the mill and get some stuff set up for this week. Maybe got a couple little things done, not sure yet. But the big thing is Mike and I are leaving this evening to go on one of our trips. We have basically a almost week-long trip starting in the Midwest and working our way back through. So it should be a lot of fun, a lot of work. It's just Mike and I this time, no helpers. So other than maybe it's some of the estates, but we got that going on. But I'll show you guys a little bit what's going on at the mill and what we have planned for next steps, and then we'll kind of go from there. But hop in the truck. I got my trusty Moondog. He's somewhere laying down in the back there. He's ready to go. So we're gonna get busy today and get started on a adventurous week in the life of. All right, so Moondog's ready to go. See, buddy, let's get going. Don't mind my dirty work truck. We also just got a set of these Ray-Ban Meta glasses I'm trying out. I've been hemming and hawing on them for a while. So guys, hopefully we're going to add to some of these week in the life of some first person view type stuff, driving shots, just general stuff like this where it's hard to film by ourselves. So a little bit of an investment, not terrible. I've spent more on stupider things, so give it a try. But yeah, we're going to hop in the truck and head out. This allows me, the other really cool thing about this is it allows me to just do like what I'm doing, talking, driving. You know, before when I was driving in the old cars trying to film with my cell phone, it's kind of dangerous. It also is just a bit of a pain. You don't really get the best shot all the time by yourself, and having the hassle of putting a GoPro on the car every time I'm just quick running out to do something or whatever is a little difficult. So we don't have a huge crew. It's just Mike and I do most of the filming myself or with a tripod. So we think this is going to add a bunch. So that's my little spiel. I'm gonna drive out of my little neighborhood here, head over to the mill, and show you guys what we got going on for the week with us kind of going away this week. All right, Moondog, I'm gonna move some of our crap here, and he is ready to get out. All right, buddy. Of course, it's raining. All right, so it's gonna be hard to see some of this, but we've had Tony, our roofer guy, helping us with the roof past week or so. You can see up there all those panels. He's got all those seams all resealed. Him and a helper had spent like 2 days power washing that whole roof. It's a pretty big roof. It's good bit of space to scrape and clean and power wash all the old coatings off of it. So he was able to get that all sealed up with the heavy sealer, and then we're waiting for the rain to stop for more than like a day, so he can continue finish sealing that with like a urethane, I believe it is, and don't quote me, but a heavy sealer for that. So walk around, show you guys what's going on over here. All right, so other big problem we're having with this building is just all the gutters on the building are not installed correctly or not working. So this gutter up here in the front of the building I actually thought was okay. Water does kind of drip out of it. But what Tony found when he was power washing and cleaning everything, that the gutter is not angled correctly. And you can actually, with it raining today, you can see it's dribbling out of that side, and it's running off way up there, overflowing, coming down there. So this is just all, you know, that's why some of this wood here is rotted and it's all gross here, because this gutter here has been overflowing. So I think for now, we might just, for a temporary thing, add somewhere a downspout just to alleviate that without having to rip the whole gutter off. That's the initial thing. So come on, Moon. Come on, buddy, let's go in. Come on, let's go. So of course that's all dripping. So this is just one thing at a time. I know some of these repairs aren't the best ways to do it, but it'll get us by for now. Come on, Moon. My goodness, lots of sniffs. So come in here through the office. This area you can see we've already got, I know the lighting's a little crappy. I don't know where the light switch is. Here it is. Still learning all this. A lot of the lights don't work very well. So this is all these shelves we got in Maryland. Some old barrister bookcases I had stashed. We've just been bringing stuff over. And you can see this area is, you know, still open. We just got some of those lights. Got an engine we got to ship for Matt in Detroit for a customer of his, so we're just helping him out. But then over here is the big thing I wanted to show you guys. We also realized that in this area, there's like 18, every light basically has its own little light switch. There's one. That one probably doesn't work. And it makes it a little difficult to turn all the lights on. Eventually we have to rewire this so that one switch turns on pretty much all the lights. But this is all the wood you guys saw in the last week in the life of. We were moving all that wood. This is like one feed bin condensed. We're saving as much as we can. We're thinking about this bin over here is all the little short pieces. So I think what we might do is we might use those and see if we can cut them into coasters or something to offer up to sell with maybe our logo or something, or Save the Mill engraved in. It'll be pretty cool. But you can see we got one removed. That's the back side of the other one. It's going to be really cool because you're actually going to be able to see that, like, this little room here. I think we're going to try and turn this little room into like an old-time speed shop type feeling with old cabinets and, you know, something over top, and keep some speed equipment in there. So by getting rid of these two, it opens up the space to go into that. But all this wood, putting this together, is all like old growth, tongue and groove wood. Good stuff. So I am going to keep pretty much all this, and we're going to use it to repair other areas and do all kinds of stuff with it. So we're going to sort this by length and put it on pallets and stash it away in another building. But so that's what it took to condense that. It wasn't too bad, just time consuming. Now we figured out how to do it. We can take these down a lot quicker for the ones that we're going to take down and not keep.
All right, so we broke our rule, and we typically only go to like normal U-Haul storage places.
Yeah, this trip already started off very poorly. I think about lunchtime yesterday or 1 o'clock, I got a message that our flight was delayed. I'm like, it's probably just messed up. It can't be delayed. And as it got closer and I was on my way to Mike's place, U-Haul called me and said they moved our rental. They said they moved our rental from the big U-Haul place, which we've rented from before in Minneapolis, to a little tiny spot, which was at a garage
/ Indian grocery store.
/ Indian grocery store. But it turned out to be really awesome. The guy was super cool. He had a shop cat, so that's always nice.
Super friendly shop cat.
Super friendly shop cat. And we got our truck. So we are now going to make our way about an hour from the city here. I think it's maybe west a little bit.
Yeah.
Northwest or west. We're headed out to the estate, and we're behind because we actually ended up having to fly the next day because they tried moving our flight with a 10-hour layover. So we changed around the flights. Luckily, the guy at the desk was cool, and I haggled with him a little bit, and he gave us a flight out of the Harrisburg airport, which means we had to leave my house at 3:30 a.m., drive an hour and a half to get to the airport, flew out 6, landed in O'Hare, landed here. So we're about an hour or two behind because of all that. But hey, what can you do? We at least made it here. So
yeah, we arrived.
Hopefully that's all our bad luck and everything else goes smoother if all goes well. Knock on wood.
Oh, look, conveniently a pole.
Yeah.
Did he mention if it's on an end or if it's buried?
He said it's in the back of the lot somewhere.
Oh. All right, go ahead back. Just old couches. Yeah. Oh, that. Damn it! You ran it over. All right, kind of hard. You're good. Can you unlock the passenger door? That was a very nice chair you just ran over. I want you to know that.
Yeah, that'll happen.
It was sunny when we landed.
Yeah, and
We're driving that direction.
that does not look good. And of course, our flight getting delayed put us back an hour or two. So we might be loading in the rain all day today. That should be fun.
At least one of us brought a rain jacket. I'm gonna be a little wet. I'm gonna have to stop and buy a sweatshirt. My sweatshirt's gonna be soaked.
Oh God.
Oh boy, just another adventure.
Nope.
Go for a ride, Matt. Drive in a little bit.
We'll find a spot. All right, go up. Get in the truck, Mike. Get in the truck. We're gonna back under. There's side shit from this track. Go up a little more. So next morning after doing our picking and digging, it wasn't much picking, it was just kind of loading. Everything went pretty smoothly, and we are going to visit with Jeff Titus, a very well-known early Ford and hot rod and racing nostalgia collector and all-around guru about all this stuff. So I've been wanting to visit Jeff's place for a long time. We finally made an extra day in between that we were able to do that. So today is Tuesday?
Yes.
Tuesday. And we're going to go see Jeff's place, hang out. We're going to get breakfast first, but we're going to go visit his place. We're actually going to shoot a podcast. So we'll give you guys a little sneak peek here in the week in the life of a little bit of his stuff in the podcast. And then we'll have a full podcast that you guys can watch like we've been putting up with some video clips of his collection. So very excited to see his stuff and not be loading greasy, heavy parts today. So let's go.
Found a little slice of early Ford heaven here in Minnesota.
Yeah. Titus was nice enough to come and give us a hand. This place we're at was in his backyard, and he had actually been there. To kind of an interesting story. The friend of the family called us to buy the stuff, and they instantly were like, "Oh yeah, we had, Jeff was over here to look at his stuff." I said, "I'm gonna stop you right now. If I'm not doing a fucking bidding war, because sometimes we get these." And I called Jeff, texted him or whatever, and he's like, nah, I wasn't interested in that stuff, but I'll give you guys a hand if you come in town. So fast forward, I don't know, 8 months or something, here we are.
Pretty long time.
And we didn't need a good excuse. We did need a good excuse to come visit him. So looking around all his...
Is this your pickup too?
That's a buddy of mine.
That thing's cool.
Yeah, it is.
For sale.
This is also pretty cool.
Yeah, it's alright.
Yeah, it's alright. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. It's only a blown straight axle Corvette.
Dude, this thing is the fucking dream.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, I guess.
I guess it is. Don't be modest.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Like I said, I still can't believe I own it, so yeah, it's amazing.
Did it have the magnesium wheels and stuff, or did you put that?
The back ones were there, the front ones were missing. So I don't know, and then when I talked to Rich, when he got it, he goes, no, they were gone, that's the way I got it. So he had sold them off of it at Krieger Belt.
How cool is that shit?
Yeah.
You had all this stuff?
Yeah, it's a Crete's intake. I had a bit I collect a lot of blower stuff and parts and pieces, so I kind of pieced it all here. I bought this at a local swap meet, the belt, and a couple of the pulleys, and just kind of, not about making a stencil to be able to do that on a new belt, And
Probably wouldn't be that hard, but that one's cooler because it's the real deal. Yeah.
The headers came with the car, and then these are like the adapter plates. So Stahl makes them like these, and they're to put. It's for like when the heads are ported and polished heavy, or ported out bigger, because they get so close to the bolts.
Oh.
So you look at a lot of like aftermarket heads now. They got a new exhaust flange just based off of this kind of flange. So this this thing was built in '64. It was kind of it was early for what it was done to it. So, but yeah. It's got Chevy. It's got the original '54 Corvette brakes on it, probably an MAS tube axle, or this George Uppalo. Maybe he built the axle. I don't know, but it's got a like a Tri-Fi Chevy rear end with quarter elliptic springs and I think 438 gears or something like that. So yeah, so pretty crazy.
Yeah, this thing's awesome. Yeah. Not a big fan of yellow, but this looks really
cool. This thing's rad. This is one that can get away with it.
Yep. Oh man, it's like 25 degrees hotter in that trailer. Yeah. This pickup's great too.
What are they asking on the pickup?
16.5. It's got an 8BA in it. It runs, it drives. It's all rewired. It's got all new glass, interior panels. Nice. It'll a little dinging around if a guy wants to tidy up a few spots and stuff like that.
For a pickup, overall, it's pretty solid.
Yeah. Clear. It's got a clear title. Everything's good with it. I think it maybe has a 39 trans, but it's got an 8BA in it. All the fuel pump, carburetor is redone, generator, charging system. The radiator was gone through. The starter is new.
Nice.
Battery. So I mean, you just crank it over, it just fires up. It sat for like 2 months. I just put the choke on and cranked it over, and it fired up.
Oh, that's cool. Treasures everywhere. I love it.
Everywhere. One.
3 o'clock?
Yeah.
Looks like the piece we need. Well, it certainly wasn't pretty, but it's out. Thank goodness.
What do you do on a road trip? You find random giant things. Anywhere in the world where you travel, there's always roadside giant things. So
Also, over Matt's shoulder, there's a giant orange moose right there. We don't look like tourists whatsoever.
water.
So along with the giant moose, there's a giant, big old deer over there too.
Giant moose.
This is a different trip for us. We're normally like blasting. We're gonna never have time to stop.
Now we're looking at roadside attractions.
Yep. Just a big old moose. It was nice all day while I was driving, buddy.
Every time I start driving, it's maybe not start driving. Every time I drive, it ends up snow or rain or some sort of
Bad traffic.
terrible weather, and it's currently the gods are not happy. There's like this crazy light show up there. So
I literally made the joke an hour ago that it was going to start raining because Matt's driving.
Yeah, that's been more than an hour, but still, it's not fun. I know what's about to happen.
And actually, if you look at the camera, it doesn't look that dark over there.
I know.
It's
That's way scarier in person.
Yeah, it's a lot darker, trust us. Oh, man. How close are we to our hotel?
I think 50 miles, probably a little under
God damn
an
it.
hour.
Now we're driving directly towards it.
Yeah, right into the darkest part.
Ooh, that was a good one. That's an angry goddamn storm.
Like that, pitch black in the morning rain.
You're doing a great job.
Yeah, it's,
Keep up the good work.
the wipers are going as fast as they can.
All right, today's Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday. And we are in, Ann Arbor.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, if you're a ex-emo kid or something, and Get Up Kids is one of my favorite old bands like that, and they have a song. So anyways, we stayed in Ann Arbor. We are about 30 minutes. We're going to Pontiac, Michigan today. So we were outside of Chicago yesterday, and now we kind of came around and up, and we are just northwest, I guess it is,
Yep.
of Detroit, going to Pontiac. And we're visiting a gentleman. His father used to collect a ton of early Ford, used to do kind of what we do, and his dad passed away a long time ago, and he has just parts that are left over. He's been bugging us for a while, not bugging us, just checking in with us to come for a while, for possibly years, and now we finally meet. We're able to fit it into a trip, so we're gonna stop there, see what he's got, then we gotta book it to Canton, Ohio, where we have a really cool thing we're grabbing, and then we're gonna head home. So all of that we're trying to do today.
Yes. There's
What?
just 9 hours of driving from here to home.
Yeah, so we're trying to get a bunch of stuff today, get a car in Ohio, and then from there it's what, 6 hours?
Yeah.
4 hours?
6 hours.
6 hours home. So we're gonna try maybe to get home this evening, we'll see. But we'll show you. Oops. we'll show you what we got yesterday, just a sneak peek. We're at a private collection yesterday that we were hanging out at.
Couldn't do a lot of filming, so
Couldn't
there's
do a lot of filming yet, but
there's 4 boxes here.
4 boxes that are filled with speed equipment and
This one's just intakes.
just intakes. It's hard to see.
That one's just heads.
And that one is just finned heads. So we spent the whole day there. It was super cool, a lot of fun, and we bought just a scratch the surface. Didn't even really start that much, but we were able to buy a bunch of cool speed equipment.
We didn't have any in the truck, so we had to find something.
And we've been a little low lately, so we bought a bunch of stuff.
It's all flathead also.
All flathead V8 stuff, so should be pretty cool. So the truck's getting there. We got some free, cool little like industrial stacking bins, which was super awesome. It stinks like gear oil in here.
Yeah, really
I can tell
bad.
you open the door, the 1 9-inch rear is like leaking. That's great. But anyways, that's what we got going. We're gonna hopefully pack this little area in here with some more stuff, pick up a trailer, get a car, and book it home. So
That should be it for the week then.
hopefully. But then we gotta unload it all on Friday.
I don't want to think about that.
That's the plan for today. We'll see how it all works out. You never know.
We know we're in the middle of nowhere, Michigan. On a mile off the highway, it turns to dirt and stone.
Yeah, we're on a stone road. Usually that's a good sign when you're going to look for stuff.
Well, let's be careful. Last time you were on a stone road with a U-Haul, you almost put it into a ditch.
I didn't know, but I had it totally under control. That was shale, not stone.
Yes.
It's different.
It's different. I wish I would have had it on video. How many more? We got 3 more miles of this, so we're gonna be way out in the middle of nowhere. All right, so we made it.
We made it. We are in Michigan, somewhere northwest of Detroit, and in the country, obviously.
Yeah, you saw we were on stone roads for a
We were on
while.
stone roads for a while. This stuff probably is in an unusual setting. Does not look like what you would normally see where we go for Ford stuff. But this gentleman, his father and him had restored a bunch of early Fords when he was younger, I guess back in 60s, 70s, 80s. And his father died passed away in the 80s. And he moved all this stuff out of his father's house back then. And he's been holding on to it for years. And he kind of was just ready to finally let go of this stuff. So he hit us up quite a while ago. And it took a while to get in here.
This direction?
Get in the right direction to hit to him. So we were able to hit it on this trip. So he had a ton of good stuff. It was difficult when a lot of times when we do these estates, he sent us photos. We talked on the phone. And he gave me a good description, but it's hard for him to translate everything that's here. So when we got here, started looking through stuff. There's a bunch of neat stuff that's here. There's a smattering of early Ford stuff. There's not a lot of like 32 stuff, but there's some 33 Ford stuff. His father had an original Roadster pickup he was building at the end, and so there's some parts that are mixed in, like the bed and stuff like that. He was doing a 46.8 convertible, and then there's all kinds of stuff that's bought, like all of us bought at swap meets and different things over the years. So it's kind of
We got to try and make all this fit.
Yeah, there's actually a bit more big pieces than we kind of realized. Luckily, a lot of this is already packed up. We didn't even really go through it, so this is it's always exciting when it's like you kind of look in the boxes and there's neat stuff, but we didn't really go through it.
Yeah.
So it'll be fun, like Christmas morning for a car guy.
And the whole back wall
And all the
is
sheet metal there.
sheet metal. So that's all got to get packed in.
Yeah,
tight.
some of it's NOS, some of it's nice used stuff. So it's a good mix of used and NOS there, but. A bunch of stuff. Also, we scored. He laughed because he watches the channel. I spotted a couple of signs. This was probably my favorite thing, and it's not even Ford. This is pulled out of he worked at an Olds dealership in Dearborn on, do you say Michigan or no?
I forget.
I'll look at my phone. We're going to say it because it's cool. Was it Sharnock? Sharnock Olds, Dearborn on Michigan Ave. He pulled this out. This was out of that dealership. A light up old signs, probably 20s or 30s, I'm guessing, judging by it. Super cool. This is the stuff when we do all of this that's exciting for me because, you know, with our collection in the mill and everything, these are the pieces that are really unique and cool. So like the parts are really fun and exciting, but like having a one-off piece or, you know, a kind of an unusual piece. And then he had some reproduction signs. He got me really excited. We thought that this in his garage. This one we're still unsure about, but we're pretty sure this is repro, but we're not quite sure. 100%, but
Super cool.
super cool either way. Even if it's not, it's still worth hanging. But this one, he was like, oh, I got one more in the garage I want to show you. It's hidden away. And it was just like this poking out in the back, and I'm like, oh my God. And then we picked it up and we're like, oh man, this seems like an earlier repro. The little eyelets here and just the feel of it seemed like it might have been an earlier repro. We did the research. We always try to be as honest as possible. So Mike literally went on his phone on a sign forum or website and found, I remembered on these signs, the big thing is we both remembered, there's usually a print down here at the bottom of the sign maker, porcelain sign maker that made it.
And it usually says property of Ford Motor Company.
Yeah. And there's a distance that you can measure these rivet holes to tell if it's real or not. I guess there's two different measurements and the size, diameter. So if you guys are hunting for this stuff, you have to be careful because this is a good example. He pulled all this stuff out of his dad's place in the 80s. Father died in the 80s, and he's had it in here ever since. And you would think, if you didn't check, like, oh, it's got to be real. Well, they were repopping these signs in like the 60s, 70s era. They were actually, I think Ford, we found out, was like reissuing some of these signs even in like the 70s and stuff. So even though it looks old and they're dusty, it does not mean they're real. So we luckily did that research because we want to be fair on pricing and everything, and found that it's a repro. So still cool. We still hang it up. It's just obviously the price difference is thousands of dollars different between a mint mint or NOS Ford real sign and repro porcelain. So it's still cool, still neat. Just we try and we're not totally sign guys. We just buy stuff randomly when we can, but we're not like, I don't live, breathe, and eat signs like some of these guys. So they know the measurement, boom, right off the top of their head, like we know Ford parts. So that was neat. This is cool. So again, neat stuff. This will be awesome in the mill because it's got age to it, like a lot of the stuff we're putting up. So just really fun to have and find this stuff. So we're gonna get loaded. We got there's a Columbia rear, which was not on my bingo card for this estate. So we need to get
There's not a lot of room
for that kind of stuff in there. The sheet metal we could kind of place up and on top. The bins stack nicely. We can make a hole, but like the rear might be a little hard, but we'll make it fit.
We'll play a little bit of Tetris and be on our way.
The truck. It's not a good trip unless the truck is like so full things are falling out at the end of the day, end of the trip.
So
we're gonna get loaded and we got to make another stop today. So we gotta start booking it.
Yeah.
All right, so we had a little thought here. A gentleman that owns all this stuff was just like, saw our conundrum where we forgot we have a 34 pickup bed there and still a lot of stuff. And we could fit it in the truck, but it's gonna be super, super tight. And he goes, well, I got this trailer here I wanna get rid of. It's like basically a heavy equipment or car trailer. And he said, it's got sides on it, pretty good. He said he was thinking about selling it. and we got to go pick up a car at our next stop. So he's like, you know, offered me, I think he said $3,500 on it, and then we did some haggling with some other stuff he has here, and said he'd throw in a hitch, so that will save us having to rent a trailer, and we can put the car in there and some of the parts and take it down the road. So apparently I bought a trailer too while I was here. I was not planning that, but it's a nice heavy trailer. Why not? Trailers are always good. Ooh, moldy stuff, great. That smells fantastic. That one might go right here. Yep, just like that. Okay, so truck is getting relatively full. We still have a bunch of stuff. Like we mentioned, we bought a trailer. We have, this is gonna go in. There's the bed, probably those doors. We have this Columbia rear. And then, oddly enough, we bought a Mopar parts. So we didn't plan to, but it got worked into the trailer deal. I was eyeing them up beforehand, so we're gonna grab these and throw them in the truck. We don't want them bouncing around in the trailer. Now, where would you like to put these? Top of your bag? Or down low so they don't fall? I don't want them to fall from high.
Yeah.
So I'd probably aim for like here.
Come on, baby.
Yeah. Careful, careful. Don't worry about it. You're gonna make a mess no matter what. Tilt it your way. Okay.
I'm gonna try to lay it down and carry it flat.
Let me just. Good. I'm short, so I gotta grab from the bottom half, you grab from the top, and it's almost level. We're gonna be tight even with this stuff in the car. I'm gonna have to slide this up behind the car. That car will fit because this is about.
What we'll do is we should actually put the rear the other way. Put the car. Right.
Well, we're gonna slide it off, so we'll figure it out when we get there. It's got this. We got a couple doors that we're gonna put in the bed, and then this trunk, and that is finally it for now. These convertible doors are heavy.
Yeah, they're not light.
They are pretty decent though.
These are pretty good doors too. All right, so we got stuff in the trailer. The truck is basically as full as it can get, and we're stopping to get stuff that's gonna fit, a car that's gonna fill this. So it's gonna be a long day. We got what? We have a four-hour drive to where we have to pick the car up. So then we gotta drive home. So it's gonna be a long day, but it was a successful loading. I don't think we left anything behind that we need. Do a quick walkthrough and then hit the road. What's your favorite time of day?
Yeah, it's the time when I drive and it's raining, except now we added the extra fun of having a trailer we just bought randomly out of the state. And yeah, seeing how that goes. So
Nothing like buying a trailer basically sight unseen and towing it home 9 hours.
I like kicked the tires, like, yeah, that's good. And the guy did tell us that, like, that gentleman did tell us that he repacked the bearings and put new tires on it like 2 or 3 years ago. So that made us feel a little better, and rewired it too. So he was nice enough to let us borrow his registration and plate so we could drive it home. And here we are.
in the rain. I'll have the time. I'll be driving it later today, so it's okay.
Right.
It'll be sunny though.
Yeah, it'll probably be totally clear as soon as we leave the next estate. All right, so we are in Canton, Ohio, like in the city or whatever. You know, this is not much different than where we started off our trip. And this little garage here has what we're picking up today. And he was mentioning he's even had some neighborhood people had broken in and they had to cover that up. So secret handshake to get it open.
Nothing but the best here.
Oh, man. So killer. Wow.
Ready, muchacho?
We go straight. Jump on top of the clutch.
All right, so we're at, of course we have zero anything at all.
We flew in, we didn't buy anything. It's been a whirlwind of literally like buying and driving and buying and driving. And so we got all this stuff in and we drove like a mile down the, you know.
It was a Walmart.
To Walmart, because we need to get straps. Our brand new trailer has no tie downs in the inside.
So we got to figure out how to tie some of this stuff down so we don't lose anything.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make my way into Walmart.
I'll be in here looking at our new project.
I'm gonna come out here. Matt's gonna be sitting in it, making noises.
I might be.
Let's go see what Wally World's got. Alrighty, so we got back from our trip across the Midwest. Got everything unloaded. We got the speed equipment here on the table. We're gonna start going through it, pricing it, putting it up for sale. All the stuff at the mill, I'm gonna try and work on next week. I have a lot of work to do, trying to organize body panels, get all of it put away, get all of the smalls in pallets. We're working through some just difficulties of how we want to unload things now at that building. So what I need to do is I need to find some Gaylords. They're like big cardboard boxes that sit on pallets. I need to find a good stockpile of those, and that's how we're going to start organizing the parts when we unload. The bins can get stacked, shrink wrapped on a pallet. We use those Gaylords to put loose parts in until we can go through them, because we can wrap them up, mark them, so we know where exactly they come from. It's not just a loose pile of parts, and we can move stuff around with the forklift. So if anyone has any of those available locally to us, I would like to get a bunch of them. We will pay for them. I'm trying not to pay a ton of money for them, but we will pay for some. We were tossing around the idea of doing some like the big, they're called IBC totes, but they're just $50 to $100 a piece around here, so it adds up quick when you're trying to buy 20 to 30 of them. So just some stuff we're trying to figure out at the mill. Next week, I think we're gonna try and pull the engine out of this, because we have a buyer for just the roller. Matt's working on the 34 sedan delivery. I have a lot of parts to A, ship to catch up on since we are away, and B, go through now that we got all that stuff from Minnesota. I have a bunch of people asking about parts from that trip already, so I need to get my butt in gear. So thanks guys, we appreciate it. It was a fun week, lots of stuff going on. Steve was busy here at the shop while we were away, so we're a little bit caught up on some projects. So thanks guys for watching, we appreciate it, and we will catch you next week.